Hi guys, it's Actual Hello. How's everyone doing? Good. I hope this video has come by a couple of requests. A lot of people, when I do top 10s and things like that, they say, will you please do roses? Please. So here I am. I'm going to do my top 6 designer rose fragrances. I'm not doing a top 10 because I don't have a top 10. So why force things? That wouldn't be real. So without further ado, these are lots of my tried and tested roses that I have owned and worn in the past. Some I don't anymore, but I still love them just as much. So the first one on the list is my holy grail rose fragrance, I would say, designer-wise. It is Stella by Stella McCartney. I need to say, I have pretty much avoided smelling the new formulation of this. I am too scared. I still have some Stella left. This was my signature for a few years, 3-4 years. I absolutely love it. It's actually kind of a rose peony fragrance. It's like a combination of both, but it's just stunning. I really hope that they haven't changed it too much, but if there is any essence left of what it used to be, I'm pretty sure I would be happy. It's probably just the longevity that has been taken away, so I would just spritz more. Anyway, this one's lovely. I described it in my review as an icy, cold, crisp, clean rose that makes you just feel refreshed and beautiful when you wear it. And I don't like to cast my mind back to my review because it was one of the most awkward things ever. I was on a 40-degree beach in Turkey. Not the wisest choice to review a fragrance. I had sand in my face. I was hot. I just walked to try and find a quiet spot. It was uncomfortable, but still, I wanted to review the fragrance in that moment, so I did. But yeah, Stella to me was the first rose fragrance that really felt like it was me. And a lot of people said, it reminds me of you, so it became my signature for a while. So check it out, and hopefully the new one is as good. The next one is a really good, cheapy and simplistic and beautiful rose. It's Paul Smith, and it's just called Rose. This one I've never owned, but I've worn it lots of times, and I used to work with somebody who wore this daily. She sat opposite me. Sarah, if you watch this, I love you. But I could smell her everywhere she went. I would never expect for something to be kind of in that price range and a simple rose to project and last and have the most huge sillage ever, and it did. So this one was just a straightforward rose fragrance. It's on the sweeter side. I would say it's one of a more southern growing rose. There was an element of crispness to it, but it's not like Stella at all. Sometimes you just want a straightforward rose that does the job, and you want to smell like petals. And Paul Smith's on my list because it ticks that box, and it ticks the box of quality as well. As far as I remember, I mean, they might have changed it too. Don't shoot me down. Reformulations are killing us all. We have to just suck it up and deal with it. The next one is such a stunning one. I love it. I don't own it anymore, but when I had it, I thoroughly enjoyed wearing it. It's Bulgari Rose Essentielle, the Eau de Parfum version. I've always been obsessed with the original Bulgari Parfum, the one that's more violety. And when I smelled this one, I didn't love it more, but I loved it as much. It's kind of like, how to describe it? It does have, say, 10% of the original Bulgari Parfum formula in it. It has that glamorous golden feeling, but then they kind of prettied it up, and it's got a very deep powdery rose nuance to it. And some people say it smells a bit mumsy, but I think it's totally glamorous, and I think it's awesome. It also projected and was a very good quality rose fragrance. It was kind of cozy, and it felt like roses dressed up. So it was a kind of glamorous rose. It's a really tough one to describe. Depth it had, powderiness it had, rose it had, and it also had that glam Bulgari Parfum feeling mingled in there somewhere as well. So I would definitely check that one out. It's the one that comes in the wide bottle. Totally awkward to spray. They're the hardest bottles to spray, I find, Bulgari. You have to get your fingers around it like that and then try and spray it. But yeah, I really loved that one, so definitely check it out. The next one's another pretty one. It's Chloe. It's the one they released, I think it's just called Chloe. They released it, it's one of the newer ones that came out around 2012 maybe, with the tiny little bow on the bottle, and it was kind of ribbed glass. This one is on my list. I smelled this, when it came out I smelled it on a lot of people. I had a couple of samples of it. I never actually reviewed it though, I wonder why. But this one's dainty. This was like a fluffy, elegant, and I see it as almost like innocent and bridal maybe rose. Really nice, and not obviously rosy to me. It's a tough one. Sometimes roses to me disguise themselves as other flowers, and this is one of the ones that I liked it for that reason. Yes, it was rosy. I would put it kind of somewhere in the realm of maybe being like Stella, but more powdery, not as icy and cold as Stella is. A really lovely one, really kind of casual, but I would see it as a bridal fragrance, so that's why I really liked it. It just reminded me of innocence and just a simplistic, beautiful rose fragrance. The next one is Elle by YSL. Yes, it's a rose patchouli combination, but man is it a cool fragrance. Yes, it gets compared to Midnight Poison quite a lot, and I can see that because both are rose patchouli fragrances. And I was going to put Midnight Poison on this list, but I think it's unfair to put unicorns on a list, even though I have done it before, but it's just not really that fair. And Midnight Poison's one that people really, really want. So I chose Elle instead. So Elle to me is like Midnight Poison. It's a beautiful rose patchouli, really elegant, kind of edgy as well, and it's kind of more like a feminized version of Midnight Poison. It's not as patchouli heavy. It's kind of more rosy heavy, which is why it's on the list. And it's kind of like a nighttime rose to me. This is like a getting dressed up, going out at night kind of fragrance. I don't see it as a casual daytime one. And I absolutely love it. I don't have it anymore. These are things that I have loved and moved on from, but still they stick in my mind as being my favourite roses that I've tried on a designer level. So Elle by YSL, gorgeous fragrance. Try it out for sure. And the last one on the list is Narciso Rodriguez For Her, the pink one, the Eau de Parfum version. As far as I know, the black one focuses a little bit more on orange blossom, the pink one focuses more on rose. Narciso Rodriguez, to me, their fragrances, I've got another review of one of theirs coming up, and I'm going to say the same thing. Narciso Rodriguez have really carved out their own corner of the designer market in terms of their stamp, their signature, and the fragrances they're producing. I would go so far as to say they are up there as my favourite designer fragrances because they continuously produce elegant, beautiful fragrances, and rose is a favoured note of theirs anyway. But this one is a rose musk combination, and it is amazing. Really tough one to describe. I have reviewed it. It's got a fuzzy fluffiness to it, and the musk never goes dirty. It's just a cozy hug of a rose fragrance. And it's super gorgeous. It's like a super feminine thing. I mean, I don't think it really suits me. I gave mine to my mum. I think it would suit her more. But man, when I had it, did I love smelling it. It's kind of addictive, and that, I feel, is the way for most of Narciso Rodriguez fragrances. So Narciso Rodriguez For Her is my final one on my rose list. Anyway guys, hope you like this video. I will be doing a rose niche list as well for you niche lovers out there. For now though, I'm Arch Romano, trying to make the world smell better, one rose at a time. Goodbye.